Good evening, everyone. You have Spanish interpretation in the back for anyone in person. Welcome to the Peirce LSC meeting. The members of the LSC are the elected representatives of our school. The LSC is responsible for setting the school's direction and policies and for monitoring its financial education programs. This meeting is being live streamed to YouTube. For those watching on YouTube wanting to comment to the LSC, they may email us at peircelsc@gmail.com. I'm now calling the meeting to order. LSC members, please announce your name for roll call.
Teacher.
Jerry Gardner. Elisa Wartek, community rep.
Lieutenant General Matthew Kwame. There.
Peirce Right Rep.
Lori Zane, principal.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the order of the agenda? Or is there any discussion on the agenda? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor of approving the agenda? Okay, all those opposed? Abstaining, not voting, motion passes. I apologize, I was going to use the computer for the agenda, and now I have to use my phone. Some of you don't get my phone, but it was just for the agenda. Oh, I have it right here. All right, thank you.
Oh, I thought you were
I know, yeah. So, sorry about that, everyone. Feel like I'm out of practice after only a month. I normally have my computer in front of me and I have undoing things, so I don't know what to do with my hands or my eyes or with the piece of paper in front of me. And no mask, so it's just, all right, so the first item on the agenda is, the next item on the agenda is the student council report. I think Zoe is here from the student council.
Good evening, LSC. My name is Zoe Kwame, and I serve on the Peirce Student Council. I'm here tonight to update you on our recent Student Council projects. We have been talking with the Changemakers Club after school at Peirce to try and increase recycling at Peirce School. So far, we have a little progress, but we hope to have more information at next month's meeting. And also today we kicked off our spring project, the spring flower garden. Student council created lots of paper tissue flowers like these and placed them in the bridge areas. Each homeroom has their own flower, and they can go and find their flower for a fun spring activity. This was a new initiative for student council. We worked really hard on this project and we hope all of the classes enjoy it. If you have any questions, you can ask me. And thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Zoe.
So, any questions?
I've been reading it real closely.
Yeah. So, we got the idea from, just because it was, spring and flowers. It's spring, and spring flowers usually bloom, so.
Great, I love it.
Any more questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is items in council approval. The only item is minutes of the budget meeting on April 7th, 2022, which Bill emailed out earlier. Is there any discussion on the minutes of the budget meeting on April 7th? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor of approving the minutes of the budget meeting, April 7th, 2022? All those opposed? Abstaining? And not voting? Okay, motion passes. The next item on the agenda is community group reports. First group is the Friends of Peirce. I think Kevin is here that I can speak to.
Hello, I'm Kevin McGarty. I'm the Vice President for Friends of Peirce. This is the first time I've ever made a report, so I don't know if I'm going to get everything right. But we had a meeting on Tuesday, and we're happy to say that our basketball hoops fundraiser, thanks to a generous donation from 88 brands and the rest of the Peirce community, raised $15,938. So we've been able to cover the entire cost of that. We have been able to raise a little bit of money thanks to Peirce, our Presence Marketing, which is Kelly Fulmar's company, and City Grange, who has donated 15 bags of soil for the Learning Garden. We have a couple of upcoming events. Trivia night on May 13 at Empirical Brewery, hosted by Peirce parent Sandy Reese. Teams, you can make up to a 6-person team. We encourage you to make some teams. We encourage everybody to make some teams. And we're also happy to say that we have a new Peirce Day with Replay that's going to be May 17. They are donating 100% of the profits of that day to Friends of Peirce. So it's going to run all day, and we'll be starting to promote that as well. Also upcoming is a walkathon, which we'll be talking about a little bit later. Yeah.
I have two questions, sorry. Are those bags of soil from City Grange?
Correct.
Okay, how is that arranged for doing for that?
How is that arranged?
Like, how did that come about?
That I would have to get back to.
Okay, the reason I asked, I'm very grateful that they're donating,
Okay.
but I applied for a grant for a garden, and I didn't want it.
Oh, okay.
And we're also getting soil,
Awesome.
and Ms. Bass, my co-partner, and she was like, what is the soil? I'm like, oh, well, the grant committee, they were gonna schedule the delivery, I guess they didn't do that. So
I'm not positive, let me back up. The last I heard about the soil, it's in Michelle Platz's garage.
Okay, so then that.
So that may be the.
Okay, so we'll have to see, because I mean, we could always use the soil.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of us storing it.
I think City Grange is closing the shop on
Gotcha.
Western, and they had dirt, and we're like, we like dirt. And
Yeah,
so we
that's
put-
perfect. Would you mind looking in
Yeah.
on that? Because I think that I can use from the grant I applied from, and they just didn't tell me they were delivering
Okay.
it, and it showed up.
Yes, I will.
So, and thank you for that, because we were very, the beds were actually really extremely low, and I applied for the max and got half of it. So this will be good, so I appreciate that. The other question I have is about the fundraiser at Replay. What day of the week is that?
That is a Tuesday.
Okay, and are we gonna, like, communicate to the community, children are not allowed there.
They have family days, like time until 6:30.
Right.
And so in the communication, it talks about like, show up with your kids, you know, from like noon to 6:30, you can run to the school day.
Because my kids and I got shot, that's why.
Yeah, did they get you right out at 6:30 or did
They were like, you cannot. So.
All right, we're gonna be clear, we are gonna be clear.
Yeah.
I tried to show up with kids and they're like, no.
And even if you're eating in the street, using the bar, they still won't let you stay, so
Okay.
I just wanna make sure that.
Yeah, we are gonna be clear about that.
And hopefully, there's no kids at that.
Hot Leaf is no kids out because it is technically a bar. So,
I didn't realize the first time that I heard that.
yeah.
Sorry, Ray, go home.
Any other questions?
No, and thank you again for
Sure, it's MC, capital G, ROARTY. Huh?
The next item on the agenda is the Peirce Service Organization. Is there anyone from the PSO here to update the LSC? No?
Sorry, I'm not the PSO
Oh, is there you know if the PSO sent one to somebody to update the worksheet?
No,
Okay, that's fine. Is there anyone from the racial equity parents group here? No, sorry, did they give you an updated name? No, okay. Sorry. Then that's all the community reports. The next item on the agenda is the subcommittee update.
Yes, we just met this week, Monday, after, spring break. We, like I said, we're going to be every 2 weeks instead of this week. The things on our agenda and the address is, one of the main things was contact tracing. We were trying to see, there was a case where the teacher wasn't notified, and so Mr. Sadie reached out to see if that was appropriate, the teacher to be notified if there was a modification, so the teacher was not notified. So we're backtracking on that. The other thing was we were talking about, we expressed concerns, the teachers on the safety committee and the STAR, we actually expressed concerns that this seating chart thing is, not very thorough because, children are not sitting in a row in a chair, like for bathroom, groups, lunch, that they're moving around, right? And so, the safety were concerned, we discussed that, like, once you get a close contact with your classroom, there's a positive case, to come to her and say, like, you know what, CPS identified you as my close contact, but actually, I was sitting with Bobby at a family reading group, you know, for 15 minutes, and then I was in an after with Mr. Tribe. So relying on more of the teacher to be like, this child was not room in this respect of that. We also talked about the fact that, which I wasn't aware of, was guilty of, we cannot ask any child, or person, or adult, or recommend that they put on a mask. If you have a child in your classroom that you think, like, is coughing, sneezing, or something, you're like, oh, well, they should run a mask, that you just need to send them to the care room. You cannot, and even if they test negative, they come back, they're still doing the family, so it's not in our authority to ask anyone to mask up at any point. So that was the, I think, the basis of the safety committee. Did I miss anything?
Okay, any questions?
Yeah, I emailed that, we all have a group of teachers that we can do it, so I emailed my two-page to second, and I was like, this is what happens, FYI, and that if you're feeling that a child is doing something terrible, like, you can't.
And then they have to wear a mask.
Right, but once they take that negative test and come back the next day, and you still feel like, hey, maybe a couple days will be positive, you don't say it, you can't, you know, so.
So these are COVID policies, so.
District.
But not for like any whole second, so like they have. So they might be exhibiting symptoms, but, so if they test positive, they're for COVID, then they're free to come back, even if they might be sick with something else.
We did test negative.
If they test negative, yes, there's no way to know, basically, it's not in our realm to ask anyone to mask up because it's completely.
Okay.
What if a parent asks if we could make sure that the kid,
So I was really surprised because I had asked parents to mask up before corporate pickup. I was like, can you consider it? And I didn't know they weren't supposed to. And so I have parents, I teach second grade, who said to me, hey, can you give someone a gentle reminder? If a parent, I would say, you send that to me in an email so that I have a record for myself. And then I just was like, hey, you know, mom, dad said, can you mask? But I wanted it in an email so that someone says to me, oh, you should have said that in there. But that's.
Any other comments, questions? Okay, seeing none, the next on the agenda is committee reports. First is the bilingual advisory committee. Mr. Lerner sent me the backup date, and I'll go ahead and read it. The end of the meeting will be held Friday, April 29th. It will include over 20 family volunteers and will involve all students at the school from pre-K to 8th. Lori is requesting approval from the LSC for $500 of back funds to be moved to a food line to provide lunch for volunteers for the event. This was approved by DAC at our last meeting, and minutes were sent to Sally and Lori to request approval. We will also have new vouchers on display for the event as a gift for volunteers and to spread awareness of our committee. A personal thank you from Mr. Lerner to officers Aurelia de Bogada, Nadila Sanchez, and Bianca Jimenez for their hard work. Our final DAC meeting will take place on a Tuesday in May. He believes that it's May 10th, but he has to confirm that with me. Also, thank you to Ms. Bell, who differentiated classroom resources for teachers to use with their students to provide a context for the cultural significance of the holiday and celebration. These will be shared tomorrow in advance next week. Next is the PPLC. Is there a PPLC update?
So PPLC met today after school, and the main topic of discussion was around our heritage showcases and how we are being culturally responsive to all of those different groups of people, and how we can make sure that the learning is embedded within the curriculum and not just these one-off kind of units, and then just move on with our curriculum, but art can really be authentic, and the learning can be authentic. And so it's an ongoing conversation that will be happening over the next few months.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, next is the Principal Evaluation Committee. Are there any updates? Seeing none, there is a training from the Office of LSC Relations on Principal Evaluation on Tuesday the 26th. I signed up for it. I think you should have all received an email about it, just so that people are aware.
I think it's very soon, isn't it?
May first.
Sorry?
Our evaluation is due May 1st.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. I was waiting for the training to come out. So we need to schedule a special meeting to do that? Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so,
Your first is next Sunday.
next Sunday, yeah. So you need a meeting next week.
No, we can, okay. Yeah, I get something.
All right, so we'll have to act on that next week.
I just asked if we, and to do as much as we can,
I think I said yes before you asked. Did I hear?
I'm just drawing out there.
Yeah, we can consider that. I think it's, yeah, we're gonna have to set up a whole meeting, one for the public and then a second meeting for, so the logistical, considerations that don't exist if we do it in person. Is the preference for virtual though?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so for the virtual special meeting next week, I will reference the meeting from last year and send out that agenda.
Will we do like a doable?
You want to just, I mean, we're here, we can just, is it, would it too much work to set up a day right now?
No, I'm fine.
And will the time be at 6 o'clock? The same?
Yeah, we can, I mean, like, yeah, we're all here in one space, so if we want to select a time and date.
We're doing a live Google.
Is that the thing?
Friday.
Yes. Is anybody opposed to Wednesday? The 27th?
It's kind of like,
6?
So would we need beforehand to go over the evaluations and, like, whatever, at 6 and at 7, you to go from the evaluation? Is that your meeting, Trey?
Yes.
Sorry, is this for the committee or for everyone?
For everybody.
Okay.
Wednesday would be difficult for me to attend.
Monday the 25th? Tuesday, 26th.
I can do.
Tuesday works.
Tuesday, the LSC workshop on photo. I can skip that. That's it, between 6 and 7.
We gotta be at 7.
Should we all like get together, watch that, and then have our meeting? I mean, we could do that, we could do that at 7.
So.
It's not terrible, actually.
And then you have to send out your,
Yeah, well,
you have to send out, like, we send ours out tomorrow, and we already have it. Right, but if you have to go kind of respond, and then you have to send out the community, correct? So.
I mean, it's not a requirement at this point.
easy to get it done. That's-
I guess that I can second it, but I feel comfortable not. I mean, but don't you think for the community of some effort out there to survey the.
Is it possible for us just to extend the deadline after the request for a week out? I mean, that seems a lot better than to not expert on this.
You need to ask the CPS.
Move it out to, raise conference.
I want to ask you about
So why the hell?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's why I didn't realize that it was on the first, because it's like, all right, we'll go to training on the 26th, figure it out. And last year, I don't think it was May 1st. Was it?
I just feel like, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be fun, but I couldn't have to do the effort to, as a LSC side, your whole staff.
So can we vote on, asking for an extension into the first week in May for the CPS?
Lori, do you know if that's feasible and like, what the process is? I mean, they also extend the conversation. So I think we could come, and on that, I think it makes sense for some of the individuals to train to find out some interest. So this needs that the survey. And then send it out. Via. I forget how it's done before.
We did a Google form last year and a paper survey. We can share that out with the council, so whenever.
Did we, I can't remember that, did we send it out ourselves to the?
No, we went out in the school newsletter, I think, and then they've been coming back that now.
And how long did you all give parents?
I think it took 2 weeks.
Okay. You went out like on Monday or Tuesday and gave them to that following, not the Friday of that week, but the one of the next one.
So if we try to apply for an extension, right, on the 26th, would it be move up to try to have the survey out on Monday, just to make sure, like, we can use our copy that we have, or we can use the copy we sent. I know it's rushed, but at least if we don't get that extension, we do give the opportunity for input from the community.
but they don't even need to wait for Monday.
Right, yeah, tomorrow, I don't even anyone for the weekend, but like, you do, you have a copy from last year, but getting back, I'm sure you can expect that.
I didn't see that.
Lori, realistically, when could the backpack now go out?
Whenever, like, we need like a date of copies.
So Monday.
So did anyone else not get that invitation?
I mean, that happens sometimes.
The invitation.
Sometimes I've been on the list of district emails, and then sometimes I don't get it. There's no rhyme or reason.
And they put a training on the 26th.
Oh, I got that. I think they're related.
I think you're just.
I'm filling out which email is?
Fine, thank you.
Wow.
Report it to the.
I know. I usually have to Google that.
It's all really well.
Right, so that
We
would be
need to turn
turn into copy.
Yeah.
You guys can look at that and then.
Yeah. I
Um,
thought I added the council to the Google Docs in my head, like how we could it.
Yeah, there is some minor date update or
Yeah.
factual updates. Like I could review it in the morning and then feel like you quickly send it sometime. They could also get sent out by the room runs last time.
Feel funny.
Yeah,
Probably.
we could, if we get it early enough in the morning, we might be, and ask teachers to include it in something in the newsletter. If we get it early.
If you send it to us, we can send it to the teachers.
yeah, the link should be ready by tomorrow, yeah. Like, I should have worked on it, I've already reviewed it once. I want to review it one more time before it got sent out.
I would just like to make sure that it reaches as many colleges as possible, because I think that's really important. So if we can get the link to give to teachers, if you give lessons to teachers, they can include them in the newsletter. We can send ours out to the
Yeah,
staff, we get the backpack mail on Monday.
Yeah, we can get the link to, I can forward the link to the LSC tomorrow morning. By 11.
There was I did create a Word version last year that we can send out to the people.
Okay, so do we need to review that one, which we did?
For dates, I don't know if dates updated because we didn't know when, because there is going out.
Yeah,
There's
the
a whole timeline, but
And when do we want to make the hard copy? When are we gonna make that hard copy due? Is the backpack mail?
I'm not going to make that decision.
No, I'm saying, like, in general, when do we think we should, if we don't get the extension, I just want to have it by.
Right.
Realistically, we're not to, if we make a justifiable request.
I don't know if that's a question for them.
Is the backpack in the physical
No.
I'm also remembering now, I mean, unrelated to the photo evaluation, and we also need to have a review certified LSC election results. Okay, we'll find out.
So what are we holding?
We need to know when the backpack can be due, and I was operating under my brother not to be sent, and when should the backpack can be due, get this information, we can visit them. But we need to be able to get as much information as possible, operating as if it's being made. I know, it's not ideal, but it's the right thing.
Is that our, office folks, we know if they're back in the office, they'll see relations, like, are people answering the phone there, like,
It's 60 minutes since.
Who is our contact? Who is our
or
contact?
it's, or just like, like,
Right now? No.
Well, if we're assuming that we're still operating under the May 1st deadline, if the backpack mail goes out on the 25th, the 28th would be the latest. That's a week. So, and then that has to be, reviewed, assessed, evaluated, summarized, compiled.
No, it's done,
But if we get more time.
Who will we send that to? Is Marcus the?
I'm gonna email on, put into account right now,
So should we assume we're gonna get more time and, schedule something for the first week in May? Okay, so, same question. What do we need in May?
This first would be
I mean, it's one of them, but it's time we do it.
we have to like figure out, the certifying the election, so.
Is that what we do?
Just a couple of meetings that we have to.
That's fine, we can do it through.
I'm going to include you on the email.
Okay. Thank you.
Send you good vibes.
We can look on here,
I think he'll be less likely to respond to you.
Because we sent them like 15 emails collectively.
Okay, so I'll send up the link by email tomorrow. I'll review the Word doc. That one, I'll try to get it by afternoon tomorrow, but I haven't reviewed it all, so I don't know what the state of it is. And then hopefully we can get it sent out on Monday. And what's the response date on the ag survey that you want?
Hard copy or
Let's say well, I guess both.
I would still say this one, you don't have, even if we have an extension, you don't have that much time.
So next Thursday, the 20th?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're gonna get the link out by 11 a.m. tomorrow, is that what we're saying?
Yeah, you can send it to me, you can send us more.
Yeah, I'll send the link out by 11 a.m. to the Peirce LSC.
Send me whatever link you want.
Yeah, I'm just gonna copy it last.
Wait, so that we can approve it or just send it out to the entire community?
I assume just to send it out, but we could one.
I was thinking of to send it out to the education community.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm sending it so that they have it and she has it. And so that everyone can. We review questions first. I mean, I know you won't. Yeah, to that extent, I mean, but that does,
I just had this email on the second, like, it's an order to
Yeah, I can look at it tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's exactly the same as the year before, so that's, okay. But
And then
yeah.
we're through legal last year already.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to this year last year. Like, really, in our timeline, if making changes to functions, so that's what we do again, not that, in case there was an interest or one or two adjustments. The time constraints, that would be.
Extension.
And is anyone specifically following up on the extension, or is this just assumed that?
I mean,
Here you go.
if you want,
Okay.
just
Is that all that's involved in asking for extensions? You go ahead.
I put here, LSC is urgent.
We'll find out.
I know. I can also ask on Tuesday, so there's no response at all.
Well, if it doesn't respond, can I go outside?
Well, I'll be going to the workshop on Tuesday, so I think.
But it's not really.
It's not from that CPS, so it's not the font. Okay.
Yeah, I know people. Maybe I'll email them. Like, do you understand that everything's. We trade with this.
Okay.
And I just woke up and.
Was there any email that said having a first, or is it okay? Okay.
So we're not looking at dates for next week. There.
No, I'm sending out a doodle. I'll do that, not tomorrow. But I will send out a doodle.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, so we're aiming for the first week in May. I'll send out a doodle for that.
And we'll see if we get that.
Is there any more discussion on the municipal evaluation?
Translation, are we, like, the part of the translated?
We just translated last year.
But I remember it was just like some dates and some very cosmetic, like, I think I had to remove PAC as a group, a reference to PAC. I think I added that because that's, a group that wasn't on the survey for last year. It was just very minor changes, it just, recall, like, 3 or 4 small changes. Any other questions, comments? I think next item is the safety and security. Any updates?
That's us. Yep, so we met on April 5th. And mainly discussed 2 items. Number 1, a follow-up on a racial incident that happened on March 4th. Lori, and that's part of the prior meeting, we talked about putting together some guidance, and I think we have a draft that we're going to share with the general population soon here. And we also discussed the potential impact on safety due to the budget cuts. We're not anticipating any, but it's something that would definitely want to keep track of and make sure there aren't any gaps there. I think those are the 2 main items that we discussed. Other pressing issues. So our next meeting is sometime next month. We would like to do. That's it.
Next is the bylaws committee. Any updates?
No,
Cleanliness?
We haven't had any complaints. No.
Very good. Excellent.
Are they new?
It's just been very stable. We have someone who's here in the evenings, and he's consistent. Whereas we were having a and like, maybe we've been off or no issues with filling
Any other questions or comments? Okay, next is LSC communications. I have failed to add the equity committee to the committee reports. But I'll do that under others. Any update on the equity committee?
So we met as a group this past week. And when I say we, it's members of newly formed equity committee. We are in the process of working through our guiding documents. And those should be coming up shortly, so we're going through each and every step as thoroughly as we can, given the fact that it's a brand new committee and we want it to be as impactful as possible. There is going to be a couple of questions, so if we have a member, I have a fellow member of the committee on in the audience here, and I'll let her tee up some of the things, some of the questions that I have. We're excited about it, and we're going to, again, come up very shortly with some details about what the purpose is, what are the different guiding principles, and next steps as far as what this committee will be involved in.
So is that an update?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right, next on the agenda is public participation.
My name is Emily Homke. I am a member of the newly formed equity committee. I have a question for the LSC. Can a community member serve on a subcommittee of the LSC?
Yes.
Great, thank you. That was very easy.
The background to this is the fact that when this committee was put together, or being put together, the interviews were open to every member of the committee, including members of the LSC.
Yeah.
And so the question is, going forward, how do we want to make that work? Is it going to be the same as what the other committees currently can do? Or is it going to be something different? So we just wanted to have a firm answer to that question.
Yeah, I think that any LC member, staff, teacher, community member, parent can serve on any committee of the LSC. I think that all main rules apply. There's more than 3 LSC members serving, but I think that it's open to anybody who can. So yeah, that's, I think, yeah.
It's referenced several times in the bylaws as well.
Yeah, I think it's, yeah. That's my understanding.
Thank you.
Is that it?
That was all.
Some members of the audience came in a little bit after we started. We do have a sign-up sheet if folks want to have some things to do, some questions or public participation. We're going to have another round later on, but I just wanted to let you know since.
Okay, seeing no more public participation, we can move on to the principal's report.
All right. So speaking of LSC election results, first, congratulations to Jerry, Evan, and Matthew on the election. And Myron. And then I also listed all of the candidates that were elected to the council. So Ella All was our student representative. And Matthew, Rocky, Nicole, Kathleen, Keith, and Lindsay are our parent representatives. Lindsay's here. And
Welcome, thank you.
And then we have, Byron and Svetlana for the community reps. And then Adolfo is our non-teaching staff representative.
What's the goal?
He's security. And then in regards to certification of results, so, because results have to, so the results as noted on the slide either have to be certified by the LSC before April 28th, or we can also have the network, certify the results on our behalf. So my thinking was, I think it was going to be very difficult for us to call a meeting before April 28th, so if we are okay with just being default to the network, we have that option. So I guess that's a point of discussion right now, I think it's a gauge how people are feeling about that.
So what was the question?
So we either have to call a special meeting before April 28th, and it can be virtual, or we can allow the network to certify on behalf of us.
Of the election. And the certifying of the results is just,
Acknowledging.
acknowledging the results and not anything else.
And so we can make it a public and not an acknowledgement now, you know, just for the sake of the minutes, but then officially have the network sign off on it, because it does have to come in the form of the board.
I was wondering about how many ballots were spoiled,
51.
Okay.
There were 16 staff spoiled ballots and 35 other ballots.
I can't remember what was last record, last year was a high number as well.
Yeah, that was, I think, because, people turned them, addresses, but yeah, this was, mentioning they were spoiled because,
Not putting the X, some putting a check mark instead of an X, some people wrote a name in. Some people select 3 for the staff instead of 2, or, you know, selected 6 parents and 2 community representatives.
Can you give me those numbers, Manuel?
51 spoiled ballots, 16 of those were staff, and 35 were other.
Jerry wants those 16.
Yes.
So are we okay deferring this to the network then?
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, all right, I will let them know then. In regards to ID updates, yesterday during report card day, there were several families that came in to participate in the ID standards review, either virtually or in person, and we received a lot of like really helpful feedback, critical and celebration, to help us in our next steps within the evaluation process. The ID documentation was submitted for the PYP and PP. Simon and Peirce are going to do an evaluation visit together. The current dates are November 7th to 9th, but we're having to request a change because now November 8th, which is election day, is a day of non-attendance. And when we initially selected those dates, you know, we're not having election day off, so that's going to change in our calendar. So we're waiting to hear from ID whether or not they'll allow us to make those changes. In regards to the professional development for staff over the last month, a grade level meetings have focused on ID reflection cycles. We looked at how we're communicating updates to our units, to families so that they know what shifts have been made within our curriculum. So starting this month, there were some like subtle shifts that staff were doing to make more meaningful connections to ID units so that families were aware. We also shared the draft of our bias-based harm guide, which I did attach in the email to the council based on our conversation last month. We looked at quarterly grades and attendance. During our flex day, Heather Frazier from Facing History provided a virtual history of racing schools workshop for staff that people really appreciated. There was a lot of really great feedback that came from it. And then there was a meeting for SECAs and part-time staff to review the data from our development capacity report and also to share with them the draft of the bias-based harm guide. And some staffing updates. Kim Ocampo, who's our 4th grade Spanish teacher, is actually going to be leaving teaching as of today. So today was her last day. And then Francisco Alvarez, who's been on staff, who's a special classroom assistant, recently completed student teaching. He's stepping in as a cadre substitute. He doesn't have a Spanish endorsement, but he's able to fill in until we're able to make a hiring decision. And then Andrea Calhoun, who's a fourth grade teacher, is currently on a leave of absence. And Anita Kurtzvik, who's been here the last year and a half, and has filled a variety of temporary positions, and stepped in to that classroom from now through the end of the year. And Bessie Reyes, who's been at the school close to 20 years, a little under 20 years, is retiring as of April 29th. So Jeremy Hayes has been retired and has been hired as Bessie's replacement. Career Day took place for our 6th through 8th grade students. One of the things that was really beautiful about this year's Career Day is that we had 5 staff members who are also professional jobs outside of the school that were able to share their careers with students. And then we had 20 parents, like from within our own school community, who also shared about their careers with students. And then there were 5 outside guests. So the majority of people were actually folks within our own personal community, which was really, really wonderful. And students absolutely loved hearing about the different career options. As I mentioned, the bias-based harm guide was emailed to the LSC. I met with the Next Steps group, which is a subgroup of racial equity parent group, and asked if they want to be engaged in reviewing that, or if we want to open it up to a racial equity parent group, because we do want to think about the family connection in this, as well as thinking about from the family perspective, what do we want to add into it. But as of now, majority of staff, with the exception of a few who we still need to check in with because they missed one of the sessions, are familiar with the guide, and people have actually started to use it. So there have been a couple of incidences that have happened in the classroom where the teacher now had like a very structured process, and they knew how to communicate with families, had a better handle on how to support students in that moment. So people really appreciated it, and having like, oh, okay, this is good to know that we should communicate to parents about this, or okay, this is good to know that we can't call for somebody to come into our classroom so that we can, address it and take ownership for it. I shared the, significant shifts in our school year 23 calendar that the district approved. So first day of school is August 22nd, and last day of school is June 7th, and then I noted the non-attendance days for students next year. We'll be, looking at family and community engagement. So what does registration look like? What does back to school festival look like? Those are sort of like the next step. Now we have the district's calendar, things that we want to start thinking about and planning for next year. And then I listed just the different workshops that have happened for families over the last month. So we did do the virtual coffee with the principal, where I was able to share a preview to the budget. I was able to report that, email that out to the community, so that even if people were not able to attend, they had access to it, they wanted to hear more about it. There were the sexual health information sessions led by Mr. Carvajal and Mr. Crowley. Mr. Lee held the graduation information session. Mr. Michello led another vaccination clinic. It was our last one for the year. The attendance at those has been really minimal, so I don't know if we will hold another vaccination event, but we really did the best that we could to integrate that as an option. And then the volunteer registration and fingerprinting has been very successful in getting people through the level one status. I listed some of the upcoming dates. The one I really want to take note of is this Saturday at 48 Clean and Green from 9:30 to 12. We are going to be working to stage all of the picnic tables that came in. So the custodians actually are putting together more yesterday, which was great. Now we just really need to work on staging them. So if you are interested in coming to stage Saturday or picking trash, those are 2 projects that are happening. And then we'll talk about budget transfers in a moment, but I listed the bilingual advisory council transfers how you're going to do these.
I have 2 questions. First one on the bias-based harm guide. The newly created equity committee under the LSC. Is that something, we haven't gotten to the point where we're part of the process, but I would love for us to be.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what's the process for that? Just gonna reaching out to you, like how do we get involved?
We can, so if you wanna do a meeting to look at it together, we can, so there's like several things. One is I wanna have like a couple groups of parents look at it, but I do wanna share it with the wider community. And we might have a quick guide that's easy to read for families versus like the extended version. But I mean, just reach out and we can schedule a meeting to go through it. It's a good idea. I wasn't sure where you all were at with like being ready to.
We were at somewhere
We're somewhere.
on Tuesday.
Summer's good.
We're getting somewhere.
Yeah. The second question,
Okay, I don't know anything about that.
I'm sorry, that will come back to me. I apologize.
I just wanted to say, like, I had a quick look at the guide and I think it's outstanding. I need to spend more time kind of combing through it, but I'm so pleased to see that there's a resource available for, not just the staff, but the families, because often it's like when you're in that situation, many folks just freeze on how to handle it, so.
And I also want to note that Shannon and Shelton actually did the first run through of putting the guide together, and then we did a lot of feedback of like the school leadership team, and then we got a lot of feedback from staff, and then, so like it's gone through multiple iterations already, but I just also want to recognize that Shannon was helping me take the initial one.
Thank you for mentioning Jen, because you got me back to where I was. Do we have numbers on, like, updating, you provide us with how many kids were vaccinated, how many had first shot? Is that something that we keep track of still, or do we still not have that?
Oh, and that reminds me, have you heard anything from the district or anything about their rumors going around that we're gonna have to sign up consent for testing?
So they sent, I received it as a parent, Sheldon sent up the testing. They sent like an updated like disclaimer to parents, and we just had to like acknowledge like updates to it.
I can get it.
Oh, okay.
And so what is it?
I got
I
it.
remember seeing something like that.
Yes.
Mine, it came from 833-900-2560, and it just said, please renew your consent document for health, COVID-19 testing services.
So this question is now, someone doesn't, like me, I can get it, but if someone doesn't get it, doesn't see it, will their child not be called to test?
We sent in a note today that said that it's just an update, but if you don't do it, they'll still provide.
That's why I pressed it
That
today.
would be saying.
I can take one question while I'm looking at the COVID data.
I was curious with Amy about, it makes sense not to continue to do the vaccination clinic, but I wonder, when the vaccine is available for the under fives, if that was something we can do it again.
We can definitely do it.
Is that ever happening? It's not a purchase, it's not.
Maybe when we're other grandparents.
But they had said that in April, but
Yeah, we haven't filed anything.
So just regarding, I received a this week or last week, and it was very like detailed, it felt like it had a process to it. And I don't know that there was bias on it, but it was still great to know that there was a process that teachers were following and felt. And it just felt very professional.
What are the virtual tour? Is that for the entire community or what is participation?
It's been really strong, actually. It depends on the tour, but kids have smaller groups, larger groups. I don't have the exact number. I think we are reaching a point where we will be able to do in school. in-school family orientation, especially for community students. But it's strong.
Was your question about, I didn't,
Virtual, about a virtual tool, yeah, about the level, it's about.
We are at 78% of students fully vaccinated. It's still, they don't really. And 82% have at least one dose.
Is that of all their enrollment or does some of our children are eligible?
Of eligible students. We have the sense as well as far as vaccination among staff, but that's it's the same as it was, I think it was like, it's pretty high, 96%, 97%.
So I don't know if you have here, but we just responded to Brandon.
I think we just need to start sending shorter emails, or I want to send you my email so you can send it to them.
Sorry, guys, we didn't prove it.
That is hilarious.
Probably didn't see that.
Like I said, it's granted, I said sentence committee.
Okay.
So we're granted, it says the sentence committee is possible. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you. Right. No, this is,
I think he wrote this, he was.
yeah.
I did
think
some
so.
urban,
You do that.
so we have so many.
Thanks, Jerry. Thank you. Any other questions on the principal's report? Any other discussion? Next is least restrictive environment budget.
No updates on LRE levels. I shared the updated data for the school, budget. We don't have any additional budget updates, no additional budget updates. And then, the BAC transfer funds, I'll make a motion to approve the bilingual advisory council's transfer of funds from a supply line to a food line in the amount of $500. Second.
All those in favor of the, that transfer? All those opposed? Abstaining, not voting? Motion passes.
sorry, can you say it's a supply line of food line?
It's in the proposal.
Then I will make a motion to approve the general accounts for the month of March.
No second.
Second.
I shall second. All those in favor? All those opposed? Abstaining? Not voting? Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is new business. We have a discussion vote on approval of building lease agreement. And that's for the FOP new fundraiser.
So we actually don't need a leasing agreement
Okay.
because it's a school event in coordination with Friends of Peirce. So, leasing agreement is not.
Okay, great. So then we have the discussion, this is a typo, I'm sorry, discussion and vote on approval of fundraisers for the, it was, I don't know, or just, or no, we're getting rid of the approval of fundraisers. It was an autocorrect somehow, I don't know. Matthew, let me know that was in there. So I forwarded the most up-to-date, fundraising proposal this morning. Does anyone have any questions or discussions about the fundraising proposal? It's also on the Google Drive for members of the public who want to do it.
I have a question about the expense from the original or the first proposal that was submitted to the second revised proposal, and then I don't know if this is like a legal response, but the expenses jumped considerably, almost three times that amount, 2,000 to 7,500. So I was just curious about, that. I'm sure I don't know if we can answer that here, but that was something that.
Any objection to what you have?
I can answer it if you like.
Please.
So, Chad was the one that originally filled it out, and I don't know where he got the $2,000 amount from, honestly. When I asked Tanya what, for like the account of the last time we did, Move-On, she said that our expenses were about $7,000, I believe. The majority of that was for t-shirts, I think. I'm not positive about that part.
That's correct.
And so, so I wanted the thing to reflect what our previous expenses actually were.
So the 7,500 is a projection from last year's.
Well, 2019, I think, is, or 2020. It's all a blur. The last time we did it, which was okay.
Thank you.
Any other discussion or questions about the fundraising proposal? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the fundraising proposal for Move-On?
I'll make a motion to approve the fundraising proposal for the Move-On.
Is there a second? Second. 4 seconds, all those in favor? All those opposed? Abstaining, not voting? Motion passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is public participation. Last call for anyone who would like to say no. Okay, seeing no public participation. Next item on the agenda is norms. Does anyone want to discuss norms or violations of norms at this meeting?
I know, so whatever.
Paper!
What's amazing?
No.
Oh.
I know, we have here stuff for other business. Okay, seeing no discussion. Next item is other business. Anyone have other business?
Just want to bring up, so at the last meeting, we agreed to have this format. So we're back in person and we're going to be streaming the meeting. And we asked that if folks had questions, that is send emails to the Peirce LSC inbox before the meeting. As it turns out, there was one question that was sent out earlier today about a draft copy or final version of the 2022-2024 CIWP and whether parent participation outside of the LSC was incorporated for, or whether there was input for that.
I saw that email and they were asking about the CIWP for the next two years, but we've already discussed that previous LSC meetings, that we were just extending the current CIWP by 1 year. And I think this person just wasn't aware of that. So my plan was to email that person back tomorrow with that information.
And I think we discussed that at the last meeting, that last regular meeting, and we put that in there too. Maybe when we get the minutes, approved, we use that, send that out too. We include that in there.
Yeah, I think we discussed that at April, at the March meeting, and we don't have the minutes for that. We don't need to, we don't need to approve that until May. We have until May regular meeting to approve that.
Sounds good.
Any other business? Any announcements?
Come join us Saturday to stand tables. Pick up trash.
Well, the mulch I sent arrived
That's true.
a few days earlier.
Thank you to Lindsay for helping move that. Thank you. Any other announcements? Is there a motion to adjourn? Okay, all those in favor of adjourn? Okay, that's just unanimous.
Thank you.